The Howdy Bots are a robotics team which competes in the first robotics competition. Every year they build a robot from scratch and go to compete with robots other teams have made. This robot is QuickDraw, the robot that was designed and built to play the 2020 Infinite Recharge game. It all begins at the Kickoff event at the start of each year. At Kickoff, the team is given information about this year's game and access to that year's rulebook. In this year's game, teams score points by shooting power cells into the power ports, by spinning the control panel, and climbing on the shield generator switch. Once the team has the information, they begin to thoroughly look over the entire rulebook to better strategize that year's robot. The team's main priority with QuickDraw was to score the outer port from the trenches with over 80% accuracy. Once the team has a strong understanding of the rules, they then begin the ideation phase. During this phase, the individual students will create their own ideas for mechanisms and present them to the team. After all the ideas have been presented and organized, the team begins figuring out which combination of mechanisms will work best for their team. Once the team has figured out the mechanisms they need, the team begins to create early prototypes with wood and various cheaper materials. These prototypes are used to prove out their concepts and find potential problems with their design. They will continue to iterate on their designs throughout the build and competition seasons. There are 4 systems that were prototyped: shooter, intake, ball handler, and turret. Here we see a student constructing the shooter prototype, which will later be transitioned into a metal prototype version. After some prototypes have been constructed, they're remade in Solidworks. Solidworks is the software the team uses to design robots and how they fit and move in a 3D environment. Using Solidworks, they are able to design parts for the final build. These part designs are sent to Integrated Metal Products, IMP, which does metal fabrication. They are kind enough to cut and bend aluminum and steel parts for the team, and then the team picks them up. The team then begins to assemble the chassis. QuickDraw's drivetrain is a West Coast drive powered by 4 Falcon 500 motors from Across the Road Electronics. It includes a custom single-speed gearing with the ability to shift between low and high speeds programmatically. Once the body of the robot has been constructed, they then add the necessary mechanisms, electronics, wiring, and pneumatics. The electronics board is composed of a sheet of Lexan. The team zip ties electronic elements to the board. This includes the Robo-Rio, the brains of the robot. The Robo-Rio communicates with the other systems on the robot via CAN. The team uses Wago clips to connect CAN wires to various components. These are easy to use and can survive the hardships of competition. While the robot is being prototyped and constructed, the programming sub-team develops the code necessary to control the systems. While the shooter is being prototyped, the programming team was deploying code to control the shooter. As completed systems are added to the robot, the code is integrated to ensure that the systems work together. In QuickDraw, shooting is done by coordinating actions between the targeting, ball handling, and shooter systems. During a match, the targeting system continuously tracks the power port. When the gunner tells QuickDraw to shoot, it makes sure that the turret is on target and that the shooter is at the proper speed before the ball handler starts feeding power cells. The team's process for developing ideas, prototyping concepts, iterating on designs for mechanisms and control systems, and integration is focused on achieving the goals the team sets for themselves at the beginning of the season. At the First in Texas Greenville event in Week 1 of competition season, QuickDraw exceeded the team's goal and was the highest scoring shooter at the event.